Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new BBC Micro Let's Play. Let's look for the game that I wanted to play today. If I can find it. I need to find it. There it is. I should probably turn my microphone or my headphones down. There we go. Whoopsy! For the BBC Micro, published by Shard Software in 1985 and written by Cy Noble. So you're playing as a baby, you're avoiding your mom, and you're collecting your toys while also pooping on the floor in order to get some distance between you and your mom. There's also these little potties that are also on the playfield, and if you touch those, you're going to have a bad time. So let's press the space bar and that title screen left little to the imagination. Baby wants to play with his toys and Mum wants to put him to bed. Baby knows that Mum will have to clean up any whoopsies he makes, so he runs around trying to get his toys to the playpen in the corner of the room. 200 points for each. You are Baby. If Mum gets too close, do a whoopsie, but your maximum is 3 plus any unused ones from the last frame, which is last screen, page, however you want to call it. When you run out of them, you're sure to get caught. Bonuses at 50,000 and 100,000 points, assuming you can even make it that far. Beware the patrolling potties. You lose a precious whoopsie if you touch one, and they can trap you. Nothing affects you while a whoopsie is on the screen. Colon is up, backslash is down, Z is left, and X is right. And space is to make a whoopsie. You can change these later. And escape can be used to restart the game. A joystick may be used. And I do like the music here. I'm going to have to switch back to the default keyboard mapping because I thought I would have to use user keyboard mapping here on Beeb. But no, the game actually is one of the few that lets me switch keys. So you have the top 9. I'm not sure why they couldn't do a top 10. Spacebar starts the game. S switches the music on and off. J lets you switch the joystick on and off, and C lets you change keys. And you can select any of the numbers to start between levels 1 and 9. I'm going to go ahead and switch the keys. W, S, A, D. And I'll do probably L for the whoopsie. And then from here, I'm just going to go ahead and start the game. Because why not? Also, looking at the high score screen before I actually do that, I do recognize the names of Laurel and Hardy, as well as Popeye and Olive Oyl. Not sure who the first 5 are. Probably a British thing. I'm from the States. So, yeah, you have to press the whoopsie key to leave a whoopsie, and then the game starts. The problem with the gameplay with the whoopsie part is becomes a little evident. As soon as Mum gets to the whoopsie, she immediately comes for you again. Also, you can't grab any toys while the whoopsie is in play. And you need as much distance between yourself and your mom as much as possible. Because if you don't, well, she'll continue to come after you, and you'll have less time between the time that she comes at you each time. Like right there. I would have had to have left a Whoopsy right there. I should have done that. Not sure if it would have saved me, though. It may probably not have. And yeah, you don't even get a little animation of the mom like moving back and forth while she cleans the Whoopsy. Once she gets to the Whoopsy, she immediately goes back to going towards you. That's no fun for anyone. And that was a terrible idea. Because that leaves me with less Whoopsies to work with. And I definitely don't want to run into Mum while I'm doing all this. And yeah, she always takes the shortest path towards you. You can't move. Well, I guess you can move diagonally. But man, you'd think. Trying to think here. Yeah, you'd think there'd be like a little bit of animation of her cleaning up the mess. But no, once she gets to the Whoopsie, she gets to you immediately. Which is no fun for anyone. I'm surprised I got to that. Now we're back at level 4. And while there's more toys, there's also more hazards, including Mum. Well, now that I know that I can move diagonally, this is going a lot better. But not by much. Oh no. The worst thing about the Whoopsies, gameplay-wise, is that the less distance between you and your mum, the less effective they become. Which isn't all that great. Because if she's gaining on you, you're not going to have much of a advantage while trying to get the toys. Also, the fact that you can't grab toys while a Whoopsie is in play is really weird to me. That just makes the game harder. Especially when you're trying to get away from your mom and you can't do it. Turn the control or caps lock off so that way you can get lowercase letters. The fact that you can't grab a toy while a Whoopsie is in play really messes things up. Because if you want to keep your distance, you have to get towards the farthest away toy, wait there, drop another Whoopsie, and then you just have to keep repeating for as long as you have Whoopsies. It goes hand in hand with the whole distance problem. The less difference between the baby and the mom, the less effective that the Whoopsies are going to be. Since there's no cleaning animation and the mom goes straight back towards going for the baby as soon as the Whoopsie is removed from the playfield, well, that makes things harder. Perhaps too hard. I've been playing for 10 minutes. I'm amazed I managed to make it past the 9th slot on the Naughty 9. I'm going to play level 9 just to see how this goes. And oh boy. Everything moves faster. This is amazing. And some of these toilets are now moving around. Are now moving around diagonally too, and there's now 5 of them on the screen. That's no fun. And the two main problems that I've mentioned about this game absolutely makes this a lot harder to play. Not gonna lie. Like, I do like the fact that you're forced to drop a Whoopsie. And that the game doesn't, or rather the current level doesn't start until you drop one. But that leaves you with less Whoopsies to drop. Especially on a fresh life. I know that the game is supposed to be hard. But when you got those two problems going on, it's like, what do you do? So anyway, I'm pretty much pleased with my progress on this game. And I might as well go ahead and give this a mini review. The graphics are pretty identifiable, pretty bright, pretty cheery. You can easily see everything. The toys, the mom, the baby, the crib, in the lower left-hand corner. Everything is easily identifiable. Sound of music, it's alright. The music here does loop every few seconds, but at least it's not really annoying. At least you have some arcade-style sound going on as well. And of course, when you get caught, the black background does turn different colors. It's not like epilepsy bad, but you could just as easily give me some sound feedback and it would work. Instead of, having the background flash red and cyan. Gameplay and play control. I didn't have any errors with the play control. Gameplay, pressing buttons and doing things was responsive. But the gameplay itself, I have a little bit of contention with. Dropping a Whoopsy only works best when you have the maximum distance between the baby and the mom. It also doesn't help that when the mom is done cleaning up, she just goes straight after you again. No mom moving back and forth or anything to signify that she's cleaning the mess up. She just runs into the Whoopsy disappears, and then she's back on your tail. Also, the fact that you can't grab toys while a Whoopsy is in play, is on the playfield, was something that I found really annoying. You're pretty much forced to play the game that the game wants you to play it. You can't just drop a Whoopsy and then go collect toys with reckless abandon. No, you have to maintain maximum distance between mom and baby and pick up toys at the same time. And the fact that you only have a limited amount of Whoopsies, which become less and less effective the less distance you have mom and baby, that makes even going through the earliest levels difficult. I mean, there's no delay between the mom cleaning up the Whoopsie and then going back after baby. And not surprisingly, I can only make it to maybe level 5 on my own. Straight from level 1. Before losing all my lives. On a good day. Thankfully, I managed to have a good day. But the two main things that I mentioned about the two main problems that I mentioned that I had with the game are kind of a downer. On the one hand, dropping a Whoopsie makes you invincible so that the potties can't get you. And neither can mom. I just now realized that because I've got my notes right here. And while you're invincible against potties and mom, you also can't pick up any items. The invincibility and how it's programmed does not discriminate between toys and enemies. Now that's basically why that works like it does. But even then, even though the invincibility against enemies works like it should, the fact that you can't pick up toys is something I have a bone to pick with this game with. I've gone over gameplay and play control long enough. As for replay value, your mileage may vary. You may play this for a few minutes max, or maybe just a little bit more. That's pretty much the nature of these BBC Micro arcade style games. Do I recommend it? I recommend trying it out. I wouldn't exactly go out of my way to get it because of how the game is and how parts of the gameplay can be frustrating. And while there are worse games, there are better ones. Try it if you must. Get it if you really like. Otherwise, there are other games. And so, this has been Let's Play Whoopsy for the BBC Micro. Hopefully you enjoyed this as much as I did. Maybe just a little bit more, maybe just a little bit less because of how the game is. And I mean, I wouldn't blame you. And hopefully I will be back with another Let's Play. Maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad. Maybe it'll be something in between, but at least it won't be Whoopsy. Who knows? Maybe it will. Because of how things are when I record videos and whatnot. And until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and see y'all later! So remember when I said that it felt like the game wanted you to play it a certain way? Well, after I recorded the Let's Play, which had my voice on it, I did the long play. I recorded that. And for some reason, because sometimes things work out like this, everything started to click. What the heck? So, here's the footage for the long play, which will be up after this, the next day. Minus the commentary that I'm putting down here, of course. And as you can see, I actually tried a strategy where I actually drop a Whoopsy, stay near a toy, collect a few toys, drop another Whoopsy, get to another toy, start collecting, and repeating the process over and over until I was able to actually make something work. And wouldn't you know it, not only did I get through levels more quickly, but I also had more Whoopsies to work with per level. I think you can have up to 10. If the footage that I'm showing here is virtually any indication. Also, this was a mistake. I should not have done that. I should have waited the tricycle and not the toy car. Whatever, I still fixed myself after that. Things get a little more hairy once you get past, say, level 4. I can't believe I didn't grab that rattle. That was really weird. And yeah, I had to drop one there just to get that, but then I forgot that the little toy plane was right next to the crib. Just my luck, right? Just my luck. And unfortunately, I can't get things going after level 5. Because this is where I lose my final life. This was clearly a mistake. And with that, the long play is over. But hey, at least I made it to number 8. Still, the way I feel about the gameplay still stands, even after that revelation. I still feel like this game could have been a little easier, but... Well, now that that's taken care of, this has been Whoopsy for the BBC Micro, really. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, maybe just a little bit longer, or maybe just a little bit more. I'm doing this little addendum just right out of the blue. Of course, I'm going to get the outro wrong. Hopefully, I will be back with another Let's Play. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. Maybe it'll be somewhere between, who knows. By Let's Play, I mean game. And speaking of game, this game has turned my brain into something I'm not quite sure, but you know how these outros usually go. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and see y'all later. And of course, special thanks to High Retro Game Lord 89, without whom all of these BBC Micro Let's Plays and these OBS Let's Plays would not have been possible.